Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back. It's been a week. I usually try to upload twice a week, but a girl has been busy. So today I want to dive into another social media topic that I feel like heavily circulates around, and especially on TikTok, just any social media platform in general. But I feel very strongly about this, and I've talked about this before. So today we're talking about how social media wants us to be insecure and forces unrealistic beauty standards upon us to thrive off of our insecurities. So I have some notes written in my phone, and we're gonna also be diving into some TikToks as well, like that kind of promote or kind of talk about certain beauty standards that I also am going to be explaining. We're gonna go through these together and talk about how it can affect our mental health and the future generation of children as well, because I am Gen Z, but I do feel like it's more prominent now for like Gen Alpha, more so when I was growing up as a teenager. It was still there, but I felt like the social media spaces were more body positive or body neutral, I guess I would rather say, about everybody. And there wasn't like competition. There wasn't like back profiles. There wasn't like a problem with hip dips. Like, you know what I'm saying. So let's just get right into it. So we're first going to be talking about hip dips. Hip dips are bone structure. If you don't know what hip dips are, they're basically that curve inward near your hip bone, your waist area. Probably don't have to explain what a hip dip is, what hip dips are, but it's genetics. It's in your bone structure. If you don't know, hip dips can't really be like removed, I guess, because it's like your bone structure. So this video is kind of popped up on my For You page, and I hate videos like this because it kind of promotes like, oh, hip dips are ugly, like hip dips, like you're ugly if you have hip dips, they make your legs look weird. And I just want to say, while there are ways through like heavy lifting and like working on your hip abductors that you can fill your hip dips up in a way with the muscle around it, you can't really change your bone structure though. It's kind of like making us insecure about like regular things that we were never insecure about. So let's get into this video.
And here we go. I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Hip dips are normal, and I feel like I have seen an array of these sort of videos around, and I feel like a lot of women, especially younger women who kind of feel insecure already, see this type of stuff and they dread over their own bodies. And everyone's body is different, as we all know, at least should know. Like, not everyone's gonna look the same. The world doesn't want us to feel secure with ourselves. The world and social media world wants us to be insecure and go through a bunch of surgeries cosmetically. And to speak further on the problem with people posting videos like this, can cause people to go through excessive dieting and trying to lose weight, or extreme workouts, or that it tires them out, exhausts their body. And it really messes with your mental health, especially if you're not the type of person to like stray away from shit like that. Like, trust me, like I see videos like this and I'm like, okay, like do I have hip dips? Like, okay, like maybe I'm a little bit insecure, but I don't let that get to my head enough to be insecure about it and to let it ruin my mental health. I don't let it get to that point. But a lot of people don't have like that mental strength, I guess I would say, to kind of separate themselves from social media. And I think that's where the problem lays, because people post shit like this. And I'm not coming at this girl, because I have posted shit like this in the past or I like, you know, like I can't come at her because she's just posting a video. Like, it's social media, like it's a public platform. I'm not trying to like hate on this individual. I'm just saying more so the broader aspect of it. The conversation of hip dips kind of often strays away from the fact that like a lot of our body composition and how we physically look is made up of genetics. And I feel like a lot of people forget that. Like, I do agree that, like, if you feel insecure about something, you can switch that. You're in control of that. But we often neglect the fact that, like, these hip dips are because of our genetics, it's our body shape, it's our bone structure. Seeing this type of stuff can be very harmful, especially to the youth, because kids are very vulnerable. I guess kind of don't know how or haven't learned how to separate themselves from these beauty standards because it's all they know. That's all they see. That's all they interact with. And another point I wanted to make was that 10 years ago, there was no conversation about hip dips. There was no conversation about the topics I'm going to be talking about more so in this video. There was no conversations. Like, there was no insecurities being pushed onto people that are like videos that were like, oh, my hip dips are so ugly, like what can I do to change them? There was no videos like that, and I think it's really sad. So next body topic I want to talk about is back profiles. I remember seeing a video that talked about how, like, this girl was insecure about her back profile, and I was thinking to myself, and this was actually like a year and a half ago, like a while ago, before I even kind of started making videos, I guess I could say. I remember seeing the videos like this, commenting on back profiles and girls being insecure about that back profile, and like, I was just thinking to myself, like, what has social media become to the point where people are talking about back profiles? Like, first of all, I'm just gonna say it right now. I know insecurities aren't about other people necessarily, but a lot of the times people, I can't even lie, like, a lot of the times people are like, well, I'm insecure about this because, like, people have said certain shit to me. But I think to myself, I'm like, nobody looks at someone's back and, like, gags. Like, nobody is gonna look at you when you're walking and be like, her back is, like, shaped so weird. The thing about, like, people's insecurities, I understand it's not really worrying about other people's, like, opinions on them. Like, sometimes it is, I guess. It's more so what we see on social media. We also have to, like, separate ourselves from the fact that, like, all these social media women who are so beautiful, like, shaped beautifully, like, you don't know these people. You don't know those women. Like, maybe, like, they never eat. Maybe they starve themselves 15 hours out of the day. Maybe they never allow themselves to indulge in a little sweet treat to get their shape, unrealistic shape. And I'm not saying that those body types aren't attainable healthily, but majority of the time we see women on social media, a lot of the time you don't know these people. So separate yourself from the fact that, like, you don't know what this person is going through. You don't know if this person had got surgery before. It is not always realistic to want to look like someone on social media. We need to start caring about ourselves. But yeah, back profiles, I'm not giving a fuck about your back profile. I'm not giving a fuck about his back profile. I'm not giving a fuck about a back profile. Like, why do you give a fuck? What I, like, back here, like, if I'm, like, I don't ever see what my back looks like unless I'm kind of, like, looking in a mirror. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about my back profile. Like, why should anyone care about the back profile? Like, please. Like, I just think it's really stupid. It's really stupid. And like I said, 10 years ago, there was no conversations about back profiles. What has this world come to? Another beauty standard is skin. So I understand on my videos, I literally look like I have the clearest skin ever. And I do want to say my camera that I use has a beauty filter, like, in it, like, kind of not beauty filter, but, like, smooths your face. So it's not actually what my skin looks like in real life. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, majority of people don't think that's what my skin looks like. But I don't add any filters after editing. But I just want to, like, make that clear. Anyway, the use of filters on social media, the use of beauty filters, the use of, filters with added makeup, added contour. A lot of it is prominent on every social media, Instagram and TikTok. TikTok's a big one. Snapchat is another big one because, yes, filters can be fun, filters can be cool, but it also not realistic, and we have to remember that. When you see, like, James Charles, I'm using him as an example because he is very open about using Facetune. Sorry. When you see him post, his skin is flawless, his skin is beautiful, his skin is perfect. It's, like, literally looks like soft baby skin. And I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm not saying his skin is shit. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, don't get it twisted. Especially, like, influencers like that, like, they often edit. They often have filters, or on TikTok, a lot of the time these filters can be a lot, like literally change your whole face, and much like you can tell when it's like unrealistic though. Sometimes if like, you know, someone takes a photo on TikTok and then they post it on Instagram, you won't know if they use a filter or not. You know what I'm saying? Perfect skin is unattainable to anybody. Just because you have acne, just because you have redness, just because you have discoloration in your skin does not make you less of a person, does not make you unworthy of being beautiful. Perfect skin is never realistic. It's not real. Nobody has perfect skin. Nothing to be ashamed of if you have these things. And I feel like a lot of social media again has created the standard of beautiful skin. Go out into the real world and you'll see an array of different skin types, and that's real life. That's real life. Another thing I want to delve into real quick about skin and that stuff is on social media, a lot of people have skincare routines and they try to like promote you like, oh, tried this skincare routine. It made my skin baby smooth and perfect and nothing, no blemishes or anything, no scars, no acne at all. They're lying to you. They're doing it for a check. Go to a dermatologist, or, you know, do your own research. Go to, people online. I mean, I don't really suggest going to like TikTokers, but there is some skincare, influencers out there who will actually recommend products to you without it being like sponsored, or just go to a derm doctor and just tell them about your problems and they'll recommend you products. I think you don't need an array of a million different skincare products. You don't need 15 different serums, and I've talked about this in my last video, I'm pretty sure, about skincare and the use of skincare routines on social media. It's not, don't follow those. One person I do think is sort of reliable when it comes to that is people who've had acne before and then come out about it and their skin is much more clear than before. I think like Alex Earl, for example, I've heard of her. I've seen like she's talking about acne all the time. She's very open about her skin. And I do think she's one of the influencers that I would actually trust if I had an acne problem and I was like, okay, I'm not going to listen to this girl who's never even talked about having acne before tell me about this product that like supposedly cleared all her acne. No. Go to a reliable source. Because putting like that many harsh chemicals like that you've never tried, you don't know if it really works, like can actually make your skin worse sometimes. So I would not follow random people's opinions. Like if a TikTok pops up on your For You page and it's like, get this product, it will make your skin gorgeous. Don't. Click off. One of the last topics for now that I want to dive into, we're going to be talking about the baby face. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, if you don't, basically on every social media platform, there is a want to be youthful. There is a push of youthful features, like no wrinkles, like nothing. And once you get older, your face is going to change. You will have wrinkles. And I will say SPF does help with that. So use SPF. But no matter how much skincare you use, it will help, but you're still going to age. And I feel like people want to demonize aging. And I'm like, aging is beautiful. Like, look at your grandmas. Like, look at your grandparents. Like, they're beautiful. Like, aging is looked at as like, ew, like, who wants to age? But it's like, we all age no matter what. So why would I sit here and criticize like myself for having a little bit of neck wrinkles or whatever? Even though that stuff is completely normal. I just feel concerned for like the future, like and my generation too, and the newest generation, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. We grew up on in a social media consumed time. Does that make sense? Whatever. We grew up in a world where social media was prominent all these beauty standards and beautiful people showing up and telling us this and telling us that and telling us, oh, we need to eat this to de-bloat, or we need to use this product to magically get rid of our acne.
Here's some things that I do to slow down the aging process as a 14-year-old. I started doing most of these things at 12. Number 1, I take 2 apple cider vinegar pills. I do this twice a day. Number 2, I use a retinol twice a day. And one of my favorite tips is I get my body lotion and put a little bit in that and then apply it to my body as usual. It's actually so good for you. Next is I love Korean skincare and I do 2 face masks a day. I always use the leftover essence all over my body. I leave this face mask on for around 10 minutes. Never forget to do skincare on your neck because that's one of the main things that ages. Again, using the leftovers. Next, I would always recommend a sunscreen with usually an SPF above 50. I use 3 fingers worth before my makeup. It doesn't matter if I'm just going to school, I always do this. Next, I always have green tea in the morning. Green tea is great for slowing down the anti-aging process and it's super anti-inflammatory and it also tastes super good. I always add a spoonful of raw honey to it because that's also an anti-inflammatory. And the next thing I do, and probably the most crazy, is whenever I'm going on a long road trip, I always tape up a piece of construction paper. This blocks most of the UV rays. And last but not least, I always sleep with a satin pillowcase.
It's so tiring. Like, are we serious? Like, are we serious? I understand wanting to feel confident. I understand wanting to feel beautiful. And if you want to change something, go right ahead. No shame. Like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. But don't let social media demonize these human things that happen to every single one of us.
Hi.
Why are you dressed so snazzy in the car?
Snazzy?
Yeah.
Oh, like my UPF 50 clothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so when I'm driving, I usually put on like a UPF 50 bandana from Coolie Bar. This just protects the skin on my neck, which is pretty thin and prone to damage, and that's where like a lot of the visible aging shows first. Also the hands. I have like UPF 50, usually gloves or some type of like hand covering. This is also from Coolie Bar. I'm not sponsored. I have a UPF 50 hat, which helps me get in and out places in the outside. I also have my sunglasses and sunscreen. Also, whenever I'm driving, I use the visor all the time to block out the sunlight so it's not directly hitting my skin. I do have tint on my window, but it doesn't block out all the UVA because I've tested. So I rely on sort of like a multi-modality approach to anti-aging.
Well, I got more than I bargained for.
You sure did.
We can't stop aging. We're all gonna get wrinkles. We're all gonna be old and wrinkly. And when we get older, we're not gonna care about that because at the end of the day, looks don't matter as much as a personality does. You can be beautiful but have the ugliest personality and you're ugly to me. Personality is what gets you far. Yeah, if you look beautiful, yeah, if you live up to the beauty standard of woman, you'll have a little bit of a push in life and you may get more things like you might get tipped an extra $30 when you're serving your customers, but at the end of the day, our beauty doesn't stay. Like our youthfulness, it doesn't stick with you forever. So what matters is work on yourself now and don't try to dread on how you look because this is your only body. This is your only life that you're going to be in. This is your face, your body. Cherish it, move your body, work for what you want. A lot of people don't allow themselves to appreciate that they're able to even talk or walk or get out of bed in the morning. These hands are privileges. Me being able to walk and speak and move is a privilege. So I'm going to take advantage of those things because there are people out here paralyzed, deaf, they can't hear, they can't see, etc. And I know this doesn't really have anything to do with like the social media aspect, but I feel like those things don't get stuck in our head, even though we do know that those things are true. Start appreciating our body for what it is instead of criticizing and hating on ourselves constantly. Everyone is beautiful. You are beautiful. You are perfect. Just remember that. Don't conform to these unrealistic ideas. If you're unhappy with yourself, make changes in a healthy way. I will never ever say not to. I do think, like I said, if something will make you happier, go for it. Just be healthy with it. So thank you all for watching today's video. This was more like a little rant chit chat, my opinions. If leave your opinions below, leave more ideas about what you feel about this topic. I do think there's more to go into. I just am speaking from my mind. But there is definitely more when it comes to mental health aspect, of course. Like, I hope I brought that up enough in this video. So thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe for more. I'll see you all soon. Bye.